a game going wrong with country, affecting the morals of our society. They call it blast. Come take a blast. If you want to get some quick money, spread a little, you could win plenty. They call it blast. Come take a blast. But when you check out the game seriously and the effects on our nation, we'll need more than cult at home for that gambling addiction. Needy bills are now left unpaid and children are left undone. Social fabric of our society, like a nut wick, it's crumbling down. Look, your neighbor cannot pay great leg. He's a candlestick that's coming next. All because of class, she gets real blast. So there's a risk of a house fire. Kids at home, there's no supervisor. All because of class, she inside of class. So your neighbor start having problems and you find she catching she ass. Please don't have no sympathy, cause all she money end up in blast. Oh, yeah. There's more money in our economy, but small businesses remain on the sea. All because of class, nothing else but blast. What was meant for circulation are now headed in one direction. Going to blast, straight to blast. So when a small vendor up in Grenada buys and cannot get enough sale, that means there's less for our farmers. Agriculture goes down the drain. And when a small entrepreneur we support having problems to pay the rent, that will lead to mere frustration and won't help our unemployment. Now before the school they could done, you would find them teachers running down. They run into blast, inside of class. So when they get the gratuity, lucky seven, so waiting patiently, waiting in blast, inside of class. So an educated fool. You've been to many schools and still can't comprehend the golden rule. You can't keep a good man down. You smite the shepherd and scatter the sheep. You cannot keep a good man down. As a man so shall he reap. That's why I'm rising, rising. Oh God, I'm rising higher and higher. I'm rising, rising. Oh God, I'm rising like a blazing fire. You Mr. Hidden Man, why you fight against Jaja plan? I want to know. I want to know. I'm rising high. Run! With your brainwash education, you tribalize my mission. Why did you do it? Why? I'm not a politician. I'm a culture man with a vision. Why did you do it? Why? It's time you face the reality that none like you will ever stop me. You thought you would prevail, but now you know you fail, because I'm like a tiger on your trail. You can't keep a good man down. A calypso warrior is what I am. You cannot keep a good man down. The more you fight.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidimatnik. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. Saying a special good night to all our listeners locally, regionally, internationally.
Rising, I'm rising like a blazing fire.
Let me say a special good night to my listeners out there in Union Island.
You Mr. Hidden Man, you better check.
Is that to call somebody over the wifey, you know?
Until I reach the top.
Union Island, good night to you. Good night to you, wifey.
So the captain,
For the calypso warrior.
Johnny String and wear it.
I hope all of you listeners have been having a wonderful day today.
Fighting I never stop.
And indeed that it has come into a wonderful night tonight, yeah?
You got to let me go.
There is no barrier.
You know, but there's one song that I really like, you know, yeah. Do you see this song here? Yeah, this right now, that is my favorite Ajamo, yeah?
In my father's house, there are many mansions.
Good night, Wade,
I would have told you.
and the We Noise Radio family. Not too sure if one soca is on with us,
Footstep of the Lord.
but saying special good night to all of you.
I wake up in the morning, and before I eat my bread, brother
Montreal is in the house.
Jesus.
Mount Parnassus is in the house. Yeah, let me see the places here. Yeah, come true.
But before I go,
I seen Springs in the house.
get on my knees and I give you praise.
London is in the house. Chris London, what's up, bro?
Be friend.
Folks, remember to hit the like button. Let's see if we could get it up to at least 200 likes tonight, yeah?
Would have been so very different if you didn't love
Right now we have a little over 500 people. Let's see if we could get it up to at least 200 likes tonight, yeah? That's on the YouTube.
jump in my house,
Alan Jones, good night to you. Zoe and Michelle.
in my house. Nobody can break me down. Jump in my house. No man can break me down. Wicked people make no sense. You
Jacket man, I sure I see your name pass through this.
no man can break me down. No way.
Vanessa Lalji, Osbert James, let me see Dennis Sandy, Kathleen Ledlow, Agnes Henry, Shajan John, Sky, Dalton Strand, Pastor Casimir, good night to you. Patsy Frank, good night to you, my brother Adrian Watts and your lovely wife, Maud Martin. In fact, Mary was that. Good night to you, Mrs. Watts and Mr. Adrian Watts. Yeah, putting the lady in front. Maud Martin, good night to you. And I see Dalma Scott, Joyce Lewis, good night to you. Carib Spice Fitness, Cindy Thomas, Rosalind Jones, Lester Abraham, Anne-Marie Grant, Ricardo. What's up, bro? Yeah, but Ricardo, your mouth no good. Marilyn Ferguson, good night to you. Anna Lewis, I see you there. Glenda, Margaret Francis John, good night to you. And Jerome Kenneth Lewis, good night to you. And hail to you as well. And hail to Grenada. Byron Frank, good night. Shemi Joseph, Shemi. Yes, good night, Keda. If you're listening tonight, listen. Yeah, good night to you. Anthony To, Clive Raymond, Christine Otley, Teresa Joseph, Moko Ben. Good night to you, Moko Joseph. Andrew Burke, April Fletcher, Shirley and James, John Stafford, Kalina, Raymond, and let me see, Red Girl Pascal, Marilyn Panchu, Jefferson Hagley, Amanda Moses. I see Anne-Marie Dick, Velma Pascal. Did I call you out? I'm not sure. Yeah, Cicely Celestine, just in case. Jill Williams, good night to you. And I see Bernadette Joseph is there. I see Art Willie I Am is there. Baby Daddy, good night to you. Ashma Charles, Public Notice, Janice Mitchell, Fitzroy Philip, Dena Tamara, Anne Evel, Kester Victor, Ron Julian, Dennis Celestine, Dolores Redhead, Lorna Johnson, Ron Julian, Fitzroy Edward. Good night to everybody. All right. Yeah, we said a good night to everybody. Nice. And folks, as we start, the phone lines are open tonight, huh? Ibrahim, good night to you, bro. Coffee Bow Hill is in the house.
They can break it down. The weather keep on changing in a funny kind of way, but I get on my knees and I give a praise. When and what is coming, the weatherman can't say.
Well, don't tell him about KG already. Come on. The geezer, good night to you, bro. Here's what. Here's what. Since KJ afraid to call, one all you, give me KJ number in my inbox. We go call he. Since he afraid to call, yeah, just make sure, send it in the inbox. You can send it on the WhatsApp and we go call him. Because since he say he trying to call and he not getting through, we will avail him the opportunity. Yes, we will avail him the opportunity. We will call him. Send the number. Yeah, just send the number. We go call him. All you can find all right? If the man say he calling how much times and he ain't getting through, we could help him out. We can also call him. So yeah, man, let the man, yeah, we ain't mind that. We ain't afraid. Somebody inbox the number for me, man.
On solid rock I stand. I try my best to live up and to do what Jaja say.
Afraid to come in the lion cage. Come in the lion cage, man.
And I give your praise. But the devil keep on setting guns and pieces in my way.
Don't afraid, all you give me the number. Calling him.
Cause things could have been so.
Nah, don't send me A1 pest control number. Send me he number.
Love me. I know things could have been so very baggy.
And folks, just in case, the number is 147-344-07377 if you're trying to get on the inside.
No man can break it down. Jaja in my house. Nobody can break it down.
They want to debate, man. They want to debate. That's joking.
No man can break it down.
Folks, I must say tonight, how many months ago did we have a massive explosion taking place in, that is in Telescope? How many months? Have any of you heard a report from the various investigating agencies? We don't know if the investigating agency was the Royal Grenada Police Force. We don't know if it was one particular department or the fire department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. We don't know if it was gravel and concrete or some independent body or some regional or international body. None of them. We have a caller online. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, Sheldon. How's it going?
Good man, I thought it was KJ man. But,
Good.
but go ahead,
I
caller, you're
missed,
live.
I missed, I missed the program last night, Sheldon. I'm so mad.
Oh
So
dear.
I want to give me 2 cents tonight, if you don't mind.
No, that's no problem. You go ahead, man.
All right. No, my partner very smart. My partner leave and go, and he leaves somebody in the hot seat. When my partner failed at being the minister of finance, what he did, he put somebody in the hot seat, right?
Yeah.
When my partner, when they had to sign this agreement, I forgot what it was called, about the situation with the gay rights thing and all that nonsense, right? My partner was not there, right?
No, he
Sent
was not.
somebody else in his place. Right. So my partner is survival of the fittest. My partner out. No, hey, whatever agreement is being made, right? Wrong or right, good or bad, my partner was not there, right? You
No.
understand?
No, he was not here.
I was not there. I mean, I don't know. You understand? So one thing I must say, my partner learned a lot from Nicholas Braffett. As the boys. You remember that? I, I don't know if you
I don't know.
remember that.
I don't know.
Yes. I don't know.
I don't
As the
know.
boys. I don't know. Now, the thing about it is that that matter is extremely, a very volatile matter, because the kind of person that you're dealing with from the US point of view is extremely, extremely a very technical fellow to deal with. He's extremely technical. And that is not a matter that can just be resolved by simply sitting by and brushing it one way or the next. It has to be thought about carefully, right? And done properly. On the one hand, we have a lot to lose, a lot to lose, right? I mean, he is not the kind of person that's just going to sit down and just simply say, well, you say no, so okay. No, it's gonna come with a backlash. And we have to be prepared if we say no for that backlash. On the other hand, a lot of Grenadians seem to be very passionate about saying yes, or not so passionate, sorry, about saying yes. They don't seem to want to say yes, right? A lot of people are saying, oh, no, 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 we should not agree to this. But I think that we need to sit down and this thing to be thought through carefully. I do not believe that a general who's coming from the United States is coming to Grenada to get a no answer, or else he will not have come, right? He's not coming to get a no answer. He's coming here because that answer is yes. That answer has already been decided on. Okay? This man is not going to fly down here, right, to come there to simply hear, you know what, we're not going to do this. I don't think so, right? And I think that he has a proposal on the table for Grenada, but we don't know what it is, right? But I think that he has a proposal on the table for Grenada. He's gone to Antigua and he's on his way to Grenada, right? And I think that you have to ask yourself why it is these two countries are the ones that are standing out, okay? Antigua to the north, Grenada to the south. I think that we have already decided what we are going to do, okay? I don't think that this is a situation whereby it has not been decided on. I think it's already been decided on. So whichever way it goes, right? However it turns out, right? Whatever decision is made and however it turns out, well, the ones who may have made the decision has to stand by it. You understand what I'm saying? Right? But what I would tell you, Sheldon, it's not a very easy thing. And for the person who is not diplomatically savvy and understand the inner runnings of how things are done in this country with this administration, it is not for them to play games with. All right? But I sit back and I wait and I watch to see what's going on. But I can tell Grenadians that this matter has already been decided on. I think it's already been decided. Right? I do not think a general from the you're not going to let a general from the United States
Well,
come down there.
a four-star admiral, not that general, a four-star
Yes.
admiral, the commander of South Com.
Yes, to tell him no. You're not going to do that. And if you do that, let me tell you something, brother. The consequences is going to be very, very dire. Very, very dire. Right? So this negotiations, right, has to be done by a skilled negotiator. Okay? But what you have done is that you have put somebody in that position who already was targeted by them. Am I not right?
Well,
Right? So,
the situation is one that let me just say this. Grenada finds itself at in a very serious situation at this point in time,
mhm,
and it is going to take a lot of thought, a lot of understanding, a lot of experience, and fully understanding diplomacy and the issues at hand and the possible outcomes, whichever direction one goes. It's going to take all of that in one to come to a final decision, because a decision, it's not that you can't make a decision has to be made in relation to this issue. You can't say that you're not making a decision. It's either yes, it's or no. So a decision has to be made. I would just say that a lot of thought has to go into it before that final decision has been they come to a final decision.
and I agree with you.
And
And why I
there
say
are
to you,
consequences whichever direction you go as well, huh?
exactly so. And that's why I say to you, and I would say that at the end of the day, I I really believe, Sheldon, between me and you, that this man is not going to come down here. He's not coming down here for no. He was sent down here and he was told by the big boss, right? Just tell him exactly what we are going to do. He is coming to tell you what he's going to do. He's not coming here to ask you for your consent. All right? That's not how they operate. That's not how this administration operates at all. Right? So it would have been better if when we got that mail, if we had left and gone up there, right, to sit to talk with them. If we had come up and talk with them, it might have been better to be, you know, take a preemptive strike, more so than making them come to us, because they're coming to us to tell us what to do. You see what I'm saying? And the stage at where this is right now, I firmly don't believe, you see, that these guys have the skill and expertise to have done that. You see what I'm saying? Right? And I would go back to what I said months ago. Months ago, I told you this. I called your program. I told you this. The person that you need to negotiate this is the person that's sitting back now and smiling. Right? And everybody's asking, where is he? What is he saying? He doesn't have to say a word. Now is not the time for him to say anything. Now is the time for him to watch. Right? Because you didn't give him that opportunity to be able to be there. Because if he was in there right now, you understand? He would have been up here talking. You understand? Before it got to this stage. Right? He would have known what buttons to push. All right? He would have known how to sit down and carefully orchestrate and negotiate this. But you don't have that anymore. That's off the table. So I really believe that your situation is one whereby, you know what? If I don't do this, I have so much to lose. And just think of it. I want us to sit here and think of what they are up against. The economy is bad. The economy is bad. Fish is going. The mail has gone. The medical school could go. The airlines can go. Western Union can go. Just go down the list. Keep on going down the list. Right? All of that could be gone. Okay? And I have a friend who is from Cuba. Right? His father came and helped build, right, the airport in Grenada. And you know what he told me, Sheldon, which is interesting? His father always said to them, and he died some years ago. And he told me that my father always tried to figure out why it is Grenada wanted to go along a socialist line. He never got that from the people when he came here. He never could understand them because they never seemed to have had that kind of inclination in their minds. right? The freedoms that they enjoy to be able to go to America and everything. He could never understand why it is they want to live like that, right? And this man shared that with me, and I thought it was so interesting, right? A man whose father came to Grenada, right, and worked to help to build the airport. This is what his father taught. This was his look at Grenada. You understand what I'm saying? He could never have figured out why it is Grenadians wanted to toe that line. You understand? And I'm telling you, if we lose all of those things, are we prepared to become a failed state? Are we prepared to become a failed state? Because that we will become. There is no two ways about it, Sheldon. Right? We would lose a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot. Economically, we are in a bind right now. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're correct. So,
Exactly. We are in a bind right now. Economically, we're in a bind right now. Who is going to come in there to give us anything? And I go back to Cuba. And I talk to my friend all the time, every time about Cuba and what Cuba is today. Cuba is a shell of itself, right? It is in a deplorable condition. It is bad, really bad. Electrical outages, can't find this, can't find that. And, I would debate the people who went to Cuba, right? And I would love for them to tell me otherwise. And I would love to hear what they have to say because they know it's true. Do not sit here and lie, okay? Bottom line is quite simply this. Are we prepared to go down that road? And who are we going down that road for? Are we going down that road to prove a point?
right?
Because I really don't know if you really to prove that point, Sheldon. At this point, I
Let's
really
see.
don't know if you want to. That road is going to be hard on Grenada, right? It's going to be hard. Before it reached to this, it should have been stopped at that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
Before it reached to this. And on top of that, the other thing, real quickly in closing, our second largest trading partner after America is which country? Trinidad and Tobago. And what stance did Trinidad and Tobago take?
Well,
What stance did they take?
I'm not even
Do
sure.
you
I
remember-
can't even say for sure what stance they have taken. I know that the prime minister there, the prime minister there has made various statements, but there's no definitive final position in relation to the entire thing.
It's true, but there's more of a softening towards being on that side than being on the other side because of the relationship that she has with Ifran Ali in Guyana. You see what I'm saying? Right?
Okay.
Think about those two parties. Those two parties are mirror sister parties. And we know the reason why, right? I don't need to tell you about Trinidad. You know Trinidad.
Wouldn't get into that.
Me.
All right, caller.
We
Thank you
wouldn't
so
get
very
into
much for your
Take care. Have a
input.
good one, eh?
All right,
All
you
the
have a
best,
good
man.
one as well,
Take care.
brother.
You too. Bye-bye.
Indeed.
Bye.
Yes, indeed, folks. Oh boy, yeah, I didn't put on this thing, man. I could not do that. What kind of madness is this? No, you want to come on? Eh. Yes, indeed, folks. 1473-440-7377. That is the number for you to call. Yeah, the AC is starting to affect me. 1473-440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. And, it's worrying. Excuse me. It's worrying to many Grenadians. It's worrying that every time Grenada seems to be facing a crisis, our Prime Minister either is not on island, so when prisoners escape and they do their thing, Prime Minister is not on island. Beryl. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Hurricane Beryl was approaching Grenada. Our Prime Minister left Grenada with the hurricane on the way already. People done saying, well, that thing looked most likely like Grenada, St. Vincent, possibility of St. Lucia. They start looking at it already, and they say that thing is heading Grenada's direction. Our Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, left Grenada, went over to Barbados to watch a cricket match, and then came back to Grenada. when at a point in time, according to law and according to common sense, he should have been leading the National Disaster Emergency Response Team. He should have been there with them, where they were saying, look, this is what we need to do. We need to stage equipment in this location. We need to ensure that the people on the low-lying areas, that they are moved, and doing all the necessary things that had to be done in preparation for emergency. Instead of doing that, the Prime Minister of Grenada jump on a private jet with his friends and leave Grenada when he should have been heading up an emergency meeting because of what was heading Grenada's direction. Jump a plane and left Grenada and go in Barbados to watch a cricket match that, by the way, he could have seen on TV. Left and go to see a cricket match in Barbados. I'm not saying he bring the hurricane. I'm not saying he caused the hurricane. But I'm saying that it was irresponsible of him to leave at that point in time. I've known situations with things way, way less than that. And prime ministers like Dr. Mitchell and other regional prime ministers, they ain't leaving the country. It could be anything else. Sometimes they due to go to the United Nations and all. They could be going wherever to meet the king in England. But something has happened to their country, they ain't leaving the country and go. Some other minister could go whatever, but they ain't leaving and go. But we were already being warned that, hey, this thing could be heading in all direction. And he left. You never know. Maybe the emergency people could have told some of the people in Carriacou earlier than they did to leave where they were and find themselves in another location that was safer. Maybe goods and so and equipment could have been pre-staged to head to Carriacou or other parts of the island, wherever it is, so that could have been dealt with in a proper manner, in a quicker space of time, to save some of the hardship that people in Carriacou and Petit Martinique are still going through. Don't get it twisted. A lot of people in Carriacou and Petit Martinique are still going through some very hard times. But he left. He left. He went. And there is no way that any one of them could convince me that this request by the United States was made only in the last few days. They have to show me that letter. They have to show me the letter. I believe that this request has been in for a while now. But it was leaked. Whoever leaked it, it was leaked last week. Which means that in my view, I believe that the Prime Minister knew beforehand that this was taking place and still opted to head out of the country and go to where he go. Yeah? I believe he opted and still head out of the country to go where he go. Where he go? Let me see. One or two of them. Where he there? Let me see where he there. Let me see where he there, man. I think he... Let me see if we could pull it up that side. No, not you, I'm saying this one. Right, nice. And we will leave you up just in case, yeah. Because we don't want to miss that call, you know. Yeah, we go make sure and see just now if we can't miss that call. No, you will get the number just now, we go make sure and call her to check. Just now we go and call, man. Yeah? So let's see where if the Prime Minister, where's the Prime Minister? Yeah, I think I think he's gone, yeah. So they could have sent back photos, but they could not send back a release to say that this is the position, or at least this is the approach. Not necessarily the position, but this is the approach. Yeah? But no, the man busy, the man liming in Africa, yeah. Liming in Africa, man. That's why he's busy there right now. Yeah? While Grenadians are wondering what is taking place with this particular issue, our Prime Minister seems as though he can't be bothered. Yeah? Seems as though he just can't be bothered. Yeah? Meanwhile, Grenadians continue to ask the question, what is the government going to do in the present situation? What is their government going to do in the present situation? They would like to know. Yeah? Because while he's out there gallivanting, there are people, there are business people here that are afraid. There are business people that would tell you they're afraid, they're concerned. Because they know that whichever direction, there are consequences. So they know that, they're afraid. There are others, people who just, some people can't sleep. And you may say, no, overdoing it. No, there are people that actually can't sleep because they're worried about this particular thing. Yeah, and the consequences that may come, and if they are able to cope with the consequences. Remember too, the Prime Minister did already tell us about certain things, and so yeah, he did already tell us about certain things.
Level, we have been pursuing deliberate diplomatic relations with as many African countries as possible. We are pursuing visa waiver agreements with our brothers and sisters in Africa. Because I don't know what you, Terry, but when people talk about the bucket list, my bucket list is to go to Africa. My bucket list is to go and see. When people talk about the bucket list, my bucket list is to go to Africa. My bucket list is to go and see, have a safari. My bucket list is to go to South Africa and to see where the great leader Nelson Mandela was incarcerated. When people talk about the bucket list, my bucket list is to go to Africa. My bucket list is to go and see, have a safari. My bucket list is to go to South Africa and to see where the great leader Nelson Mandela was incarcerated, and yet still after 20 plus years of imprisonment, he didn't come out bitter. When people talk about the bucket list, my bucket list is to go to Africa. My bucket list is to go and see, have a safari. My bucket list is to go to South Africa and to see where the great leader Nelson Mandela was incarcerated, and yet still. When people talk about the bucket list, my bucket list is to go to Africa. My bucket list is to go and see, have a safari. My bucket list is to.
Yeah, so you just living his bucket list. Your bucket list are things that you decide you want to do before you die. Yeah, or before you get too old to be able to do them. So the Prime Minister has already told us what his bucket list is. His bucket list is he wants to go to Africa, so the man making sure, whether it's Rwanda, whether it's Rwanda, where is this again? Rwanda, then, no, he didn't end up going to Rwanda. So there was Nigeria, now there's Ghana, and there will be other trips, yeah, because his bucket list, he's just waiting for the South Africans to say, hey, and he there, you know. Yeah, because he want to go and see Robben Island and all them kind of thing. Not Robben Island. I never say the man Robben Island. I said the man want to go South Africa to see Robben Island. Yeah? No, he's not going to find out how to rob an island. The man, Robben Island is a place that Nelson Mandela, yeah, right, Robben Island. Right. I never said the man want to rob an island. I don't want you go and say thing that I didn't say. Yeah, that's why I'm making sure that I clarify my statements with you all. Don't go and say thing I didn't say. So remember, the man is basically fulfilling his bucket list. That is what he's doing at this point in time. He is fulfilling his bucket list. Yeah, he's making sure that he gets to see as much of Africa as possible, utilizing the portfolio as Prime Minister of the country. Yeah? Not necessarily that he wants to go there because there's so many benefits to be gained and so on. We're not saying that there are not benefits to gain. But we are saying that the main aim here is to fulfill his bucket list. He told you so. Not me tell you. You heard the man say it for himself. It's not me that tell you that is the man bucket list. The man state for himself that is his bucket list. Yeah? Nice, yeah.
With our brothers and sisters in Africa. Because I don't know what you, Terry, but when people talk about the bucket list, my bucket list is to go to Africa. My bucket list is to go and see, have a safari. My bucket list is to go to South Africa and to see where the great leader Nelson Mandela was incarcerated.
I wonder when this.
I don't know what.
I wonder when the South Africa trip coming. I wonder when the South Africa trip is coming. Yeah, we waiting on that one. We waiting to hear when the South Africa trip is coming.
I don't know what you, Terry, but when people talk about the bucket list, my bucket list is to go to Africa. My bucket list is to go and see, have a safari. My bucket list is to go to South Africa and to see bucket list.
Yeah, man, that the man bucket list. The man wants to go to South Africa and so on. So South Africa, only invite the man. The man want to go. But you see, we afraid. Because every time the man step out, all kind of things does happen in the country. We afraid. Yeah? And we especially don't want him to go out around the 1st of July. In case all you realize. 1st of July last year was problems. 1st of July this year was problems. Last year was Beryl. This year was Telescope. We ain't taking if they're still in government by then. But when it comes to the 1st of July, we want him leaving the island. Because all kind of things does happen around that time. We have a caller, Delilah. Look, good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing? Go right ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm okay. Brother Sheldon, I want to speak to the mothers. Them that wife, and they have a boyfriend and they have a husband. And to the children and the grandchildren, and to other parents, other family. If your wife has a husband and a weather approaching, and your husband or your boyfriend leave and go out of the island where there is nothing pending, no disaster pending to the island, and after the disaster hit the Grenada and it damaged your home, your house damage, and he came back, would you accept him as your husband? Or children, would you accept him as a good father to you? With wife, children, and grandchildren, and father? A father, a father and a real father will stand and face this disaster when approaching with the children, with the family. He have to be there in the front line, be in the head to face it and to give comfort to his children, his wife, and if he don't marry the girlfriend and his entire family. But when you have a prime minister always running away from problem, this leader is unfit to govern, to lead a country. And calling upon the people of Carriacou and Peter Martin, it is clear to see they can honor the Prime Minister enough fit to be a leader. Because he don't have that love in him for people. He don't even have a love for the people that support him. Because even the people that looking for him to be the leader and to show an example for others to follow, he not showing the example. And I call it upon the people of Carriacou and Peter Martin. I will always say, get registered to vote out this government in office because they don't deserve. They don't even deserve to last the other 2 years because what they are doing. We look at the situation with America. What America want to do? Where is he? He out there. He knows what's going on, but he will never share the truth to come back. So he see that his body celebration is more important than what Grenada is facing right now. It's more important.
No, the bucket list more important right now. The bucket list.
The bucket list more important. Right? He come to fully bucket list, and all the ministers come to fully bucket list. But he going out and fully bucket list or outside. But them ministers fully bucket list inside here. Robbing the Great Development Bank, corruption taking place left, right, and center, and he don't care. He see that is not. He see that something good. He see something good that the minister doing, and all what the prime minister doing it. Even those that came in there and have some integrity, the prime minister spanning them. Because what would have Andy? The prime minister do Andy. Right? Instead of trying to change Andy and make Andy a better person, he make Andy a worse person. Putting more money on the hand when he know and what the caliber and the character of Andy. Instead of he help people, he help develop people, he helping destroy people. Sheldon, have a blessed night.
All right, thank you very much. 1-473-440-7377. That is the number for you to get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, I wonder if Yes, indeed. That's the number for you to get on the inside. I'm hearing as well that teachers have not been paid. Some teachers have not been paid and so on. The president of the Grenada Union of Teachers seems to be upset that there's a situation where several teachers who are within the system have not been paid, and he's saying that this seems to be happening every year now. That was it earlier this year or last year? They had to be taking industrial action and all that sort of thing. So he seems to be pretty upset about the entire thing. Yeah, he seems to be pretty upset about that entire thing. Yeah. 1473-440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get on the inside. And folks, we need to understand something in relation to the US request. It is not simply a Grenada issue, which is why the head of government should have been in Grenada to lead the discussions with the visiting American military personnel, but also to lead the discussions beforehand with his colleagues and with any other grouping that he found it necessary to speak to. Whether he decided that, hey, we need to speak to the opposition, or we need to speak to, well, if there's NGOs again, early NGOs again, or we need to speak to the church, you better speak to the church, and we can need real prayers on this one. Take what I'm telling you. Need real prayers on this particular issue. But at least that he should have been here to lead the discussions in relation to this issue. But instead of that, man completing the bucket list, he a Grenadian to study. He a we to bother with. The man is enjoying himself. He told you all. That is not AI. He told you all. He said to Grenadians that I have my bucket list. And going to Africa, going on a safari, etc. Is his bucket list? So the man living the bucket list? We have a caller online.
Good night, Sheldon. Good night, talking points.
But he's
How we
not
do?
by, says KJ. I upset, man. I thought it was KJ.
Oh God, Sheldon, that is not a bucket list, man. I did. There's a barrel list you have. A bucket too small, man. Because I can't find for the life of me. I read in GIS, them release every now and again when this man leave the island and go and come back. And the last release I saw that this man was going to Ghana.
I think he went to Brussels. Or he went to a meeting first, and then from that meeting, I'm trying to remember where exactly. But he went from that meeting.
Yeah, he went to he went to Brussels first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's Brussels, but I know he went to a meeting, and from that meeting, then he went over to I think it's Brussels. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I just go and watch the release again. I just want to watch it again. So how he ended up in Ghana now? When he was going to Nigeria?
No. From day one, I'll be honest here. From day one, I think I always saw Ghana. That's me. What I saw said Ghana from day one, not Nigeria.
Well, probably between them and go and change this thing online, because I tell you, this man going places, and from what I understand, is a private jet. And who's the delegation across here, this gentleman, by the way? Anybody have a clue?
Well, boy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Sheldon, we have a matter of national security here in Grenada, and people that support the NDC and the NDC more pieces is like everything that they can do, you right, and 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 you're hearing NDC supporters speaking against what is happening right now. They want to hear what's going on, and this man is not even bothered with them, their supporters, his own supporters. And now you're hearing their pundits on radio telling their supporters they're not loyal, and they're not this, and they're not that. So what are you trying to say? People cannot think on their own now in Grenada? They never have a brain in their head? So you have to tell somebody how to think. That is a fault. That's called behavior, brother man. That's cultness. You can't be going on so. People have their own mind to think of their own. So if you're not supporting what the Prime Minister is doing, he's not here, and they're asking where's the Prime Minister, they have a right to do that. And we have a right also to hear from all our leaders. And this conversation is supposed to involve everybody, NGOs, the opposition, everybody. This is a matter of national security. The President of America just said he bomb a boat again out of Venezuelan waters with no due course, no reason at all. He just said it's narcotics. How we know it's narcotics? We have fishermen going out far too. This is far more than what we think of what happening in Grenada waters and outside of Grenada waters. And this man chooses to be gallivanting, as you rightly said, and now he's a bucket list he have. Come on, man. Where brother Kitchen calling? Where we are going on?
When,
And your brother Sheldon.
when,
Never
the
going on, man.
when the elephants are fighting, it's the grass that gets trampled. Just always remember that.
Very
Later, my brother.
much like that, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually an African saying. You go learn that one while you do. While the elephants are fighting, it is the grass that gets trampled there. So be careful, don't end up being the grass. Yes, 1473-440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, so folks, I had mentioned earlier the explosion at the quarry in Telescope. And it seems as though all of us forget that already. No, I ain't forget it. We want to know what is the outcome of the investigation, because what took place there is a situation that could have cost many Grenadians life, limb, and property. Yeah? Dangerous explosives were moved from one end of the island to the other, passing through communities, passing next to homes and businesses and schools and churches and medical centers and playing fields, buses of people going along their merry way, and families in cars going to have a good time. This high explosive was moved from one location to another, and then through the community of Telescope. That to show how much they care about Telescope people, much less all the others on the east coast of the island. Through Telescope to that location to be disposed of. We were told at the point in time of the explosion that there are more that are still located at the original location. We were told that there is more there. And the reason it was being disposed is because it get old and unstable. So you moved unstable explosives from one location to another, without a thought or care or consideration of the people of Grenada and those from Carriacou and Petit Martinique who was down here at the point in time too, and the visitors to our island too. We have not heard any updates in relation to this particular issue. And it is not an issue that we ought not to have an update in relation to. By this point in time, that happened the 1st of July. You are August, you are September, we into October. We have no information as to what took place with the remaining explosives, what mistakes were made in the disposal of the set that exploded. We have no information in relation to that. And it is time that we hear something. It is time that we hear something. Happened on the 1st of July. Same day that Hurricane Beryl hit the northern part of the island. So 2 years in a row now, we all kind of funny thing happening on that day. But we go pray it out. Nothing happening next year on that date. Yeah, we go pray it out. Just happens to be a coincidence. But we want to ensure that our people are safe. We don't want to be seeing a vehicle and wondering if that is the vehicle carrying the rest of the explosives also. The people in Telescope, remember the Honorable Emlyn Pierre and her team had to offer psychological counseling to the people because it was not a situation that is easy to deal with. You hear parents speak about they had to run down because children was panicking in the house and all kind of thing. This is what the people were put through. And we want to ensure that not just that community, but no other community in Grenada is exposed to the same sort of thing. That our people are safe. We don't want that to worry. We want to make sure that our people are safe so that no such other occurrence can happen. But you see, this government keeps believing that everybody in Grenada have a 3-day memory. So that after 3 days, they go forget about that, man. They go forget about that. Don't worry. Well, we ain't telling them nothing about that. Because the buck, as far as I'm concerned, stops with the Ministry of National Security. That's where I believe it stops. And it stops with the Prime Minister, whether you're speaking of him as Minister of National Security or you're speaking of him as Minister of Infrastructure and Works, because the Gravel and Concrete Emulsion Corporation is still under him. And as much as they try to blame him and the Gravel and Concrete Emulsion Corporation, I believe that the Ministry of National Security and its head has to take responsibility, because if he is the Minister of National Security and he does not know that such things were taking place and such items were being moved that was endangering everybody on the island of Grenada, that was in the path of where that was passing, then he needs to hand over the Ministry of National Security to somebody else. But the only problem you have is that all of them incompetent now, so it's like you're moving from Tweedledee to Tweedledum. And you might even find Tweedledummer. That is the problem. Folks, the number is 1-473-440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, that is the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. I wonder, boy, let me see now. Let me see. Wonder if we might get through. Hey, they don't answer. Answer them, man. Hello?
Hello.
KJ.
Hey, Sheldon, what's up, man?
I'm good, man. Man, I hear you want to debate. I hear you trying to
I just
call.
call a brother of mine there and I tell him, I say, wait now, man. Sheldon joking now. I call him 1,000,000 times and I'm not getting through.
There's not a single call from your number on this system, my brother. Not a single call on this system.
No, that's not true.
Not a single call on this system.
So how come you know my number to call back?
No, not
Because
call
you
back.
just call me there, you know.
Somebody gave me the number. That is how I was able to call.
No, I call you many times. Why? I don't have the line.
No.
I call you many times. A matter of fact, the person is on the phone here with me now.
Well, the call log is available, but we hear you want to debate, so we're giving you the opportunity, my brother.
Well, first of all, Sheldon, let me just tell you, first of all, with due respect, I don't believe in lying for any political party. I know I'm a person, I've been on radio for a long time, but at the same time, I'm willing to give the Most High God thanks and praise. First of all, I respect everybody. I'm sure you've never heard me call anybody names on the radio station. But what I'm doing, I'm very, very careful with what I articulate to the people out there. And even you at many times calling programs that I had before, and we had our little debates. Now, I've heard a gentleman stating that I call and I said certain things, which is true. But what I've been basically saying, because I've heard so many wrong statements that's been said about me, and at the end of the day, Sheldon, when you put on the phone, at the end of the day, you could say all different things that I didn't say, or whoever I challenge could say a lot of things, because at the end of the day, they have the mic in their hands. But while I am talking now, people could gather the information. At the end of the day, people have the political party that they back. Now, I personally never got into politics, right? And I decided to do that and back my political party, but at the same time doing it with a sense of purpose and a sense of honesty from the point of view of not running down people per se, but highlighting things which I see as pertinent to Grenada's development, right? On many occasions, I've been called idiot, he's stupid, he don't know what he's about. I've never even uttered that to anybody. Because why? I think I'm a person of class. And I've shown these qualities on the radio for years, right? And I do have a right to back my Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell. And I will give them the credit for the short while for that 3 years, right? 3 years and couple months they've been in office. They've demonstrated, right, that he has vision. He's not like what we saw in the past. People tend to think that a leader have to be a bully and they have to push people around and this kind of a mentality. No, a leader don't have to be that way. You know, at the same time, let me emphasize, perfection does not dwell in the human domain. So we are not saying that everything is dandy and everything is glorious. I will never articulate that. But at the same time, in terms of the time span, not forgetting that what they've been called novice, they have no experience, they've been called names, they've been disrespected to the highest class, and yet they show the intestinal fortitude to go ahead. Now, let's be honest, from the perspective of St. David's, I've never seen work done like this in St. David's, and that's a fact. We cannot deny that. That's a fact. The people in St. David's can tell you that. We've never seen innovations like that before. When this government came into power, right, we've seen schools repaired, all different programs that we never saw before. And even if the former administration had certain programs before, but the way in which this government, right, done and put together certain programs, we've never seen that. We've never seen that consciousness and that political consciousness in Grenada. We've never seen leadership in that mannerism before. And it's something that everybody tend to gravitate towards. Look at Mr. Deacon Mitchell whenever he go to anywhere. Little children gets around him. He's fearless. He's quiet, but he's fearless. He has the authority. You have people in, you see in the past, ministers were scared to say certain things. You're not seeing that now. You're seeing that he's ruling, he's governing the country, and that respect for other people in cabinet. I mean, this is revolutionary like leadership. This is something that we've never saw before.
Let me just interject here because, hold on, let me just interject here.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just made a statement about ministers being scared to talk. You definitely may have been speaking about the Tillman Thomas administration, but not the New National Party own. Because I, as a former junior minister, as a person who a couple times attended cabinet meeting, who attended executive meetings of the New National Party, could tell you that I don't know anybody that was ever afraid to give their viewpoint in relation to any issue to the political leader of the New National Party at that point in time, and Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. You're speaking about things which you do not know. I could tell you, you can't tell me. I can tell you, because I sat in the cabinet, I sat in the executive meetings, I sat in other meetings, I sat in the conventions and the general councils and so on, and I have never known a situation that any minister has been afraid, or even members have been afraid to speak on the issue as they see fit. You know not of which you speek.
But
so you can't go around. You can't go around speaking about things.
I
because
never
listen,
heard you spoke out. I've never heard you spoken out.
Yeah.
Of mismanagement of monies. Of monies and all the failed projects and people who came in and just took our
let's
monies
hold on.
and
No,
went
I'm glad
away.
I'm glad that you're going there. Because I'd like
I've
you.
never heard.
I'd like you. No, hold on. No, KJ, don't make me mute you because we can't have a conversation like this.
That's the problem because
hold on. No.
I told you have the microphone in your hand. You could mute it when you want.
Yes, and I'll do that if I find it necessary. Because I'd like to tell you.
At the end of the day, that's why.
No.
At the end of the day, you run things, Sheldon. It's your program.
Of course, and that's why I give you the opportunity to call. I could have said I don't want you to call because you're making some. You're making.
I want us to be truthful.
And that is why I'm trying to correct you right now. You're not being truthful. You're not. Because let me ask you a simple question.
I'm not truthful.
You're not truthful.
Let me ask you. Truthful.
Let me ask you. Yeah. Let me ask you a simple question. How much money?
But why don't you
hold on.
listen to...
Are you letting me ask you the question or not? Yeah.
the past
So,
government.
no, let me ask you a question. So you have to remain silent and let me ask you the question, okay?
Spoke out about.
No, 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 no. You're not going to just drag the program down that direction, my brother. Giving you an opportunity, I'll let you speak for close to 5 minutes straight without saying a word. So you have to give me the
That's-
opportunity to speak as well. Because you could easily go and get a camera, get a microphone, set up your thing and do your program for yourself too, you know. So you have to give me the opportunity. The same way I'm doing the program, you have to give me the opportunity to talk as well. Now, you spoke,
Because
I'm
I
asking
have
you.
the-
No, KJ, you take a rest. Listen.
Yes.
No. I'm asking you a simple question here. And don't try to duck away from the question that you maybe believe are going to ask. I'm asking you a simple question
No,
here.
you cannot
There's
make
a
me
simple,
duck.
you're
I
going to
am-
duck. And here's
I
why
am
you're going to duck.
intelligent enough to know how to answer.
Okay, well, answer this question without interruption, please. The question is simply this. You have claimed that Grenada lost money in the shrimp farm. How much money and how did Grenada lose money in the shrimp farm? You have claimed that Grenada lost money in the fowl farm. How much money and how did Grenada lose money in the fowl farm? Because I, on this program, have provided proof that that is not true. In fact,
You have
there are
provided
people,
it not you.
there are people closely aligned with the NDC who are holding on to money that was given to them by the former NDC, not this NDC, the other NDC administration for a fowl farm in St. Mark, a fowl farm project. And that money was placed into Scotia Bank. And there are people closely aligned with the NDC who are the ones who received that money. As for the shrimp farm, prove to me where Grenada lost a single cent in relation to the shrimp farm. How much money? How did they lose money in it? Because you make the statement, so you have to be able to back it up with facts. And I'm giving you the opportunity.
There's one thing that there's one thing that you seems to forget, right? That a lot of things were given away. And what I'm saying is none of us have maybe the total amount, but the facts will.
But my
is
brother,
there
you've been
in
speaking
documentation.
this thing whole year.
Right.
And the NDC has been speaking this thing for years. I will send you, because now I have your number, I will send you a copy of the program so that you can be educated in relation to the shrimp farm, because once again, you know not of which you speak.
My program.
No,
You
hold
used to
on.
call in on my.
No, hold on. As I am saying here, I will educate you in relation to the shrimp farm. So I'll send you a copy of that program. And I'll educate you in relation to the fowl farm. So I'll send you a copy of that program as well, because you know not of which you speak.
Sheldon, you're forgetting one thing. I've only been involved in politics for the last 3 years and so on. I've never been
KJ, I
part
used
and
to live
parcel
St.
of
David,
no
and I used to
political-
pass it. KJ, I used to live St. David, used to pass it in
Sheldon.
NDC t-shirt and beaten. Don't come with that.
That's not true. That's no, Sheldon.
KJ,
Don't ever praise me
everybody
as a
in
liar.
Beaton know you passing with your
Shel-
NDC t-shirt back under the last NDC administration.
Sheldon,
Don't come with that.
I said I've only been
I was
involved
right
in
there in St. David.
politics for the
All right.
3.5 years. I've only been involved in politics for the last 3.5 years. And don't
KJ,
ever
beating
praise
people,
me as a
KJ,
liar.
beating people listening you know.
Sheldon, Ken Joseph, that's me. I have only, and I repeat it again, because you have no documentation of that, and you have no proof. And I have only been involved.
People
I
listening you.
said it during the campaign, and I'll say it again. If you want to say otherwise about beating people, Penn Butter people, St. George people,
Oh, you know
but
all of
that's
them?
not factual.
Okay, all right.
That's not factual, right? And there again, there you goes. I did warn you on restart, be factual, because that's not true.
KJ,
That's not true.
So you didn't used to have on an NDC t-shirt during the period of the last NDC administration at times?
No, never. I've never been involved in politics.
Laugh and beating people all here, man. All right. Okay, KJ.
Yes, I said that. Sheldon, you would not make it because people know I speak my mind. Grenadians know generally I speak my mind. Whether I'm right or wrong, I say how I feel. You know I'm a person, I'm a very strong person. And when I believe in something, and the reason why I back NDC is because I find that certain people feel that they thought Grenada was theirs. and we needed that change.
You-
And
you
the,
are-
the
you are-
trajectory Grenada is taking right now. This is what Grenada need right now, under the guidance of the Most High. And I personally, you know one thing I'm mad with myself for? I should really be pushing a God agenda more, a more God agenda, and talk about God a little bit more, to be honest with you.
Better
You
you
know,
do
but
that
at the
than talk on
same
shrimp
time-
farm.
at the
Better you
same
do that
time-
than talk on shrimp farm and fowl farm because you don't know about that.
No, Sheldon, you know the last administration been pretty much reckless. And you know for years, people try to
That
stop
is your
people. You
that
know,
is your view
Eh?
in relation to it. As I
That-
said, I will educate you
that's
in
a-
relation to both
you,
of them. I
when
will
you
provide
used to call in on my
I
program,
will provide
when
you with the
used to call
facts in
in on my
relation to that.
program, what did I used to tell you? I used to tell you at the time that you're activist. Why I could I tell you you're activist? And
I've
I could
never denied
play back
being
the
an
memory
activist.
because I was never part and parcel of any political party. So I could have spoken with authority, and I corrected you many times when you called me in on my programs in the past. And that's a fact.
Corrected me in relation to what?
On a lot of topics.
KJ,
Because
you
you,
can't-
are
you couldn't
always
correct
biased
me.
towards your political party.
Of course,
But the
all
only
people
reason
are
why I
biased
came
towards
in-
their political party. There's nothing is wrong with being biased towards your political
Yes,
party, KJ.
but we could back our political party, but we don't have to lie about it. And that's the difference. Because I have never come and spoken any lies. I don't have to lie for Grenada.
But it
I
is
speak
untrue.
truth.
But it is untrue to claim that in the last 3 years, this is the most work you've seen in St. David. That is untrue. KJ, what
That's
was
a
the
fact.
road? Let me ask
I could back that.
Let me ask you a question. What was the road between Calavini passing straight up to Crowshoe like during the period?
Sheldon,
Let's say
Sheldon,
during the period
I'm only
1995,
human being.
1995 to 2000, and let me bring it up. 1995 to 2005. Who fixed that road coming up on the East Coast that passed through the whole of St. David? Who did the farm roads in St. David?
Sheldon, you've been a surrogate and an activist of NNP. You've been in politics
But nothing
a
is
lot
wrong
of
with
years
nothing
before
is
me.
wrong with that.
Sheldon,
You can call me a
You've
surrogate.
always-
You can call me an activist.
have-
Nothing is wrong with
you-
that.
But the difference between you and me. So I'm telling you now, since this administration come on, right? Look at the WASH program. Look at the free education.
So KJ,
Look
there
at
was
the
no
amount of
program. There was no
programs and
program.
on.
So
We've
you
never seen that kind of a thing before.
KJ,
And that's a fact.
You might need to go and
Yeah.
change the prescription on your glasses because you didn't know about the program, bathroom and toilet program in St. David under the New National Party.
It was not like that, Sheldon.
You had a bathroom
Sheldon, it
and
was
toilet
not like
program.
that.
But you had a bathroom and
Sheldon,
toilet
not
program.
like this.
So to
Sheldon,
claim
the WASH
to
program
simply
is
change
a
the name,
revamp, quality
you change
that
the
you
name.
get.
All you do is you change the name. All you did is change the name of the program.
Why don't just give Deacon Mitchell some credit and let's feel better and admit that we've never seen a
So
young
why-
prime minister
why will
like
you-
that done
why
so
will
much
you-
work in a short time.
Why will you not give the New National Party the credit that they deserve?
Sheldon,
will you give any credit? Hold on, because let me see, that is 16 minutes, so we go wrap
Let
just
me be
now.
honest with you.
We go wrap just
let me
now,
be
but
honest
no,
with you.
give some credit
You want
to
me
the
to be
New
honest
National
with you?
Party
You
and
want me
Dr.
to be
DeGroote and
honest?
Bakis
Let
Mitchell.
me give you an honest fact. Let me give you an honest fact.
Mm-hmm.
When they started, it did well. But after a while, complacency set in and people start feeling Grenada belong to them. And that's a fact. And then you could
That is a
feel the
view.
whole
That
vibe
is
from
not
the
a
people.
fact.
That's
That is a view. That is not a
That's
fact. That is a viewpoint.
Do a survey and ask questions. And I've been around. I heard people mention things before, and so many times I heard, things like what? Who else go around Grenada? You had one time on a bus.
Let me
I
tell
remember
you.
sitting on a bus, and I told that person, I said, that's a foolish statement. Because anybody could die at any time. What are you trying to tell me? There is nobody else to run Grenada? And look at who is running Grenada now, Deacon Mitchell. So we make a lot of foolish political statements. You think I will ever make a statement like this? I will say, from now until the next 15 years or so, we know Deacon will be in power. Because we cannot see anyhow or any way NNP could come back in power. Because the work he is doing and his vision for Grenada.
You better read.
and the way he's going,
Go and read all your own polls. You go hear differently. You better go and read your
Sheldon, at the
own polls. You go hear very differently.
the work is being done. The people and the youths are gravitating more and more towards NDC. And you cannot run from that. right?
KJ, that is a
And
perception.
NNP right now,
That is a perception.
NNP
That
right
is
now
not a
is
fact.
fragmented. NNP is fragmented.
That is not a
NNP is
fact.
not on a solid ground right now, but the NDC is on a solid ground.
Oh, you
You
believe so?
understand?
Okay.
We're solid and we're moving on.
That is a perspective, my brother, and not a correct perspective, but it is a perspective. Yeah? But as I said, because I think our time is up, I see my listeners starting to
Okay.
get upset. So we're going to end it, but
one
it's,
thing I'm
no, but
happy
I'll tell you
about
something though, it
that
would
you
not be
allowed
the
me
last
and we had
time.
a civil conversation.
Of course.
Yeah, we had a
KJ,
civil
that me and you.
conversation. You didn't call names.
KJ,
Yeah, we
that
go
me
way
and
back.
you.
We go way back. We go way back.
But I'm going to tell you this though, that we will be
Yeah.
having another conversation very soon again.
Yeah.
If I don't hear
Because
you call me,
I just
I'll be
come
calling
from
you.
the bathroom. I came from the bathroom
I
and I
catch you.
called my brother and I said, Sheldon only call him a name. And he said, and I'm calling you since last week. And he called me, hear him now. He said, KJ, I know you, you know. Hear what he said, they saying on the radio that you didn't call in. And
You ain't
he
call.
lied. He said, KJ, one thing, I know you. You're a man, you don't have to lie for that.
As I
And
said,
that's why he tell the same time I call him, I say, Sheldon, one sign me.
I can
And then he
make-
said, no, it's the WhatsApp.
I can
Then he
make the
said it's
call
WhatsApp.
log. I can make the call log available to anybody. You never called. If you call,
No,
you
no.
call the wrong
Sheldon,
number. If you call the wrong number. You didn't
Sheldon,
call
that's
this
the
one.
number. You just call back on there. That's what we on now. You call
KJ,
back the
you
number
what? Between
because
me
I've
and
been
you,
calling it.
send a WhatsApp to me now of all the times that you call. Yeah. Have a good
Sheldon,
night. Have a good
Sheldon,
night, my brother. No simple.
You're implying that I lie. There is no need for me to lie to people.
But you could correct
There's no
that.
need.
You could correct that. So I say that
I'm not
you
lying.
probably
I'm
call
telling
the
you.
wrong
Look
one.
at, I have it right here.
Send a
I have it
WhatsApp.
right here the amount of times I call.
Send a WhatsApp. All right, my brother. You have a good night.
So how you knew the number to call? How you know the number to call?
Because I send David person. Send the number to me. You forget no send David's well. I asked for the number at the beginning of the program and somebody sent it.
Okay. Now, but I did call. For real.
Thank you so very much,
Honestly.
my brother. You have a wonderful night.
Respect.
All right.
Have a good night.
Respect
Okay.
and manners. Yeah, man. Yes, indeed, folks. But tell all you are going to do it. I tell all you are going to do it. Hey, well, who calling there already? Hey, Papa, yo. Good night. Hello. Hello.
This is the voice of one crying in the wilderness.
Cry out, Pastor. Cry out.
Good night to you, Sheldon Scott.
Good night to
Let
you as
me
well.
first say to you, I congratulate you very much tonight for having KJ on the program. How many minutes?
I think that was about 18, 19 minutes.
About 18 to 19 minutes. And this 18 to 19 minutes that I sit here and listen to KJ, I really trying to put the pieces together as to what KJ had said for 19 minutes. And KJ know, totally speaking, that he's a hypocrite. When KJ could say that the level of work that he saw in St. David for the past 3 years, he had never seen that before under the former administration. KJ, how hypocrite you are, how bad-minded you are, because it is alleged you're receiving $1,600 a month. KJ,
I know about that one. If you know about that, you know.
It is
I don't know.
alleged.
I
It
don't
is
know
alleged.
about that. Yeah.
KJ, this stupidness that you and Sheldon give you a chance to speak stupidness in order for a Grenadian to prove who you really are. Because KJ, Shaggy exposed you on several occasions at WFM. Shaggy exposed you, KJ, as being so worthless. Shaggy said it openly. Shaggy told you that you do everything in your power to bring him down, and he bring you back to what the things that you said. KJ, you don't do those things on them. who could have ever do work in St. David like Mr. Oliver Joseph? Why you so hypocrite and bad-minded? But you must not do those things.
Pastor, let me just interject here. While they are talking about they're doing this and they're doing that in St. David now, when the New National Party was building road in St. David, we were not doing roads in feet. We used to measure road in miles. So when you
Miles
hear you're
road.
doing road and you're coming up from Calavini, so you pass through Springs and you're coming up from Calavini and you're heading up a road and you reach the Red Gate and then you pass Red Gate and you're going up and you hit Lazar Just
Man,
and then you
tell
come out from there and you
KJ.
hit Croshoe. We did not use
Tell
to measure
KJ.
roads in feet. We measured roads
Tell
in
KJ.
miles. When we were doing
Box drain
drainage
in miles.
in miles. So yes, St. David's is large. You would never be able to do everything in one go.
Exactly.
But over
Exactly.
the years, the New National Party has always done its bit in St. David.
Exactly. And St. David people knows that.
And we're not
And
even
when you
talking
come in and
about some of the inner roads and so on right now. The housing project that this
you.
government came in and decided that they take in and give who they want, how they want, that was placed there for the same people of St. David who are listening to this program tonight. The same people that the Prime Minister say they are security and they letting people go in the place and all of that. The houses were built for those people. But in coming
Exactly.
into office, this government decide, no, that's too nice for them. So we're going to give who we want, how we want, and do it in a way that those people who really supposed to get it can't get it. That is what took
But
place.
yeah, but KJ don't realize these same houses built in the parish of St. David's for poor people. And KJ, when your prime minister came into being, he took the house and he sold them. KJ, let me tell you something. No prime minister that ever run this country had ever did what Pete Mitchell and the NMP did, boy. KJ, be realistic. Stop your stupidness and be honest. And let me tell you, KJ. Get ready, eh? Because 15 seat. You know, every time the NDC in office, you know it's a 15. You know it's a 15. You must be honest. And don't. And listen, Sheldon, I love what you give. You was the only person that would have given KJ that length of time. And the reason why you give KJ that length of time, and I'm proud of you, is for people to listen how dishonest and stupid KJ is. Thank you very much.
Good
Have a
night,
blessed night.
Pastor. You have a good one. Yes, indeed. No, that the NNP, when the NNP was doing things in St. David, I mean, simply, if I ask, well, who did the road the first time I was going a particular area, if you're talking La Femme, who did the road from out by the church going into La Femme for that shortcut road to take you up by Country Cold Store and all of them? It was the New National Party that did that. The bridges in those areas, it was the New National Party that did that. The drains in those areas, it was the New National Party that did that. And those are areas that the individual that called could have seen very clearly. Those were right in the area there. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Sheldon.
Good night, my dear. How are you?
I'm okay. I've been listening to your program for a few weeks, days, nights. I must say though that not because you might be for a particular political organization, you ought to be biased. No, where the NDC is concerned, I think you're doing a satisfactory job. The young people like myself is really they appreciate what they're doing. You see unemployment rate reduced to such a big jump. It reduced.
Are you sure? Are
and I
you
think
sure
people
that
are happy.
Are you sure that the
Yes,
unemployment rate
and-
has been reduced, my dear?
Yes,
there's
yes,
so
my
many
darling.
people-
I didn't come
there's
with
so
data,
many-
but
There are so many people that have been contacting us to try and help them in relation to gaining
really,
employment
and
and
what
that
are
sort
you
of thing.
doing? What are you doing as it
No,
relates
there's
to
very little.
referring them?
There's very little that we can do. If we do find places that are trying to hire people, we refer them. We
Well,
help people with CVs and that sort of
I
thing.
used
So
to
there are
work,
various
I
things that we
understand.
do.
I used to work with a construction firm. And so I know the struggle that they are facing now as it relates to the hiring of skilled personnel and unskilled persons. So I just want to put on the record that the government is doing a very good job.
But let me
I
just
am
ask you a
in my
question though.
early 20s.
You're speaking of construction, and
Mm-hmm.
again, the only reason that construction is oversubscribed at this point in time is Hurricane Beryl. So you're telling me that had it not been for Hurricane Beryl, many of the people
Mm-hmm.
who are working now would not have been working? That has nothing to do with the government.
I
It's a
don't
natural
think
disaster.
it's because of Hurricane Beryl, but
No,
Hurricane
no,
Beryl
no.
did
We're
help.
not thinking here. We know for a fact that hurricane
It did
that it
help.
is
It did help
oversubscribed.
in a very big way. Well, we then see no matter what, we have to give credit where it's due. Project 500 is ongoing.
No, 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 no,
Multiple
my dear. Hold
schools
on,
are
hold on,
being
hold on.
built
No,
right
no,
now. Road
my dear,
infrastructure
hold on.
project, the widening of the
Caller,
Granada
caller,
Road. Go
hold
ahead.
on. When we call the program here, you have to come factual. Project
Hmm.
500 is existent only in the minds of the NDC administration. They promised under
Okay.
Project 500, 500 houses per year. In one
Hmm.
instance, you're hearing that they were promising that per constituency, but we won't hold them to that. If we say
Okay.
500 for the
So
entire
I
island,
understand.
and
I learned something new today. Listen to me, right?
hold on, not one
This is
house has
something
been
new I
built under
learned.
Project 500 thus far.
That's inaccurate.
They
But
only the show houses,
I'm
only
gonna
the
leave you
show
to believe what you
houses. No,
believe.
hold on.
I'm gonna leave you.
Only the
I'm
show
from a rural
houses,
parish actually,
only
so
the
I know
show
that for
houses
sure.
in only the show houses in Dunfermline have been built. Not a
That's
single house under
inaccurate.
Project 500. Well, send me the information, my dear. I really want to know.
No problem. But I just want to encourage you that it's not too late to pay the government the money you owe them. So you probably should do that.
Don't worry about that, my dear. Don't worry about that. And she hang up the phone. My dear, no. Don't worry about that. Yeah? That is a court issue. The court go deal with that. You worried? But it is not true. And we have a caller online. Go ahead, caller. Lower the volume in the background and go right ahead. Caller, lower the volume in the
Hi,
background.
Sheldon.
How you doing, my dear?
Oh, I'm good.
You
How
go
are
right ahead.
you?
I'm more than good.
All right. I think you're giving these people too much time on our program. We're good by ourselves. What I'd like to say is this. NDC came in power and they spoiled the whole of Grenada. It's a mess.
Hmm.
I'm Teresa Colimo.
Okay.
My thing is, we have our small business in poultry. We were doing so good
Hmm.
and it was amazing. Every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, we could have done a deposit. We could have helped people. Well, you know me when it comes to the poor people.
Hmm.
I'm there
I know about
100%.
the school bags and so on and all the assistance, the back to school and all of that you do. I see it,
Right.
I know what you're doing there.
My daughter helping as much. We always try to do little. Sheldon, it's been a mess from 2022 to now. So all this talk about these people coming and said about, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. Tell me something. We're in the middle of poultry. And just imagine, we were doing so well where we could actually do so much for people, you know?
Hmm.
And now you can't do nothing. It reached to a point where we put everything on sale for 5, 10, 15, 20, and $25
Wow.
because we cannot afford to leave it in the store
Basically a
and they
fire
won't
sale.
dry rot.
Basically a fire
Exactly.
sale. You have to just get rid of it.
Exactly. You have to get rid of it. So you tell me, if they're doing so much, and that shit hurt my heart when I hear so much. They keep saying, oh, they're doing so much. They're doing so much for their people.
Hmm.
The rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer. And I can never support NDC because of the simple fact they do not care about poor people. And the disrespectfulness towards Dr. Mitchell and Miss Emmeline Pierre, it getting to be out of hand. And sometimes these people and them who call in on your program at, well, they start tonight because I never really hear it before. But this is ridiculous. We don't do that. We don't go on the different platforms and disrespect none of them. We don't.
But let me ask you something, my dear. You are in St. Andrew. You spend time in St. Andrew and so on. Aren't you
Right.
meeting a lot of young people that are unemployed, searching for employment, etc.?
Exactly. And all they do is beg.
Because they're trying to find employment. You know how much
There
young
is
people that we
nothing.
have had to help here, how many mothers. In fact, there's a situation right now. I was contacted earlier this morning with one mother whose water has been cut out, and she has a differently able child in the house and the water cut off.
Exactly.
So it
And
is
there
not
is,
a situation that there are jobs all over the place and so on.
right, there is none. Because knowing the people in my constituency, especially in La Poterie, they find things to do, they will do it. Because we never had to go in Grenville to sell or anything like that. We do that right there, and we was doing well. Is it just a coincidence that soon as they came, everything just flop? No, it's not. So that should tell you something,
Hmm. Hmm.
you know? People are just bad mind, and I realize it's like a yellow thing and a green thing. It's not that. It's not that.
The facts are
It
the
should
facts.
be about for everybody, which is Grenadians, not one set of people.
Here's this, Teresa. I have a friend who has a business place in the town of Grenville. And I could tell you, when they tell me how much they make, sometime on a daily basis and sometime on a weekly basis, there is nearly no way they'll be able to keep the business open.
Thank
No
God we don't
way.
have to pay rent.
Yeah, and
Thank God we don't have to pay
this
rent.
is these are individuals actually paying rent, and so they can barely pay the utilities, much less to pay the
Exactly.
rent for the building that they have their business in. They're really
My
going through. They're
my
really, really
girl
going through.
opening the stores sometime on a Saturday, and she will call me and say, I fed up, you know. I fed up. And she, well, I think she does motivate me more than anything else.
Hmm.
Because otherwise I'd just shut it down. But the thing about me, I don't go pick up expensive thing to come sell for the people. So whenever I get stuff on sale, I buy it, put it down. So I always have stuff at hand. So
Reasonable
it's not
stuff.
like I'm losing anything from that. Hence the reason we put up everything on sale. Because why have it there and there is no money?
Hmm.
Anyway, good night, Talking Points family. Love
My
you
dear.
guys.
And you know we love you too. All right,
Yes,
my dear.
yes, of course.
All
Bye.
right, bye bye. 1-473-440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. And we have a call online. Hello, good night. Load the volume in the background, caller, and go right ahead.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear. Oh, something making a little noise in my head in the background. They might have to lower it a little bit.
Okay, are you hearing me clearly now? Sorry for
I
that.
get in a kind of high pitch. All right, go ahead.
No,
I will fix.
not
No,
by me,
I'll fix
not
it
by
on
me,
my end.
sorry.
You go ahead.
Right. Sheldon, I think Pastor Louis would have said it all. Because I tried to call before Pastor Louis. But you know what bothers me? Is that these people and them always calling and it's like the government doing well, the government doing well, the government doing well, the government doing well. The government doing so well or so much well that the Grenadians are bawling out. Grenadians are crying out. And this well have nothing in it for Grenadians. All the well the government is doing, there is nothing in the well for Grenadians. And that gentleman that you'd have spoken to that you call, it's time he stopped that. The same thing he does on Mr. Pierre's program. He call and he just want to go as a energizer battery. Just go with non-stop. He just go non-stop. And you would ask him the same thing he does. You ask him a question and he doesn't answer the question. He just continue going non-stop. It's time he stop that. It's time he stop that. Because he knows so much about this government, and you're asking him simple, basic question, and he divert from it. He cannot answer. And then this thing about he want to put about God in his thing. Gentlemen, stop that. God is listening to you. He is listening to you. But as I said, Pastor Luis could not have said it better. Tomorrow, please God, and he's going to call Mr. Pierre program and do the same thing again. He called Mr. Pierre program, was it yesterday? Yeah. Mr. Pierre asked him to name 3 things because he's down on the government. Mr. Pierre asked him to name 3 things. Tell me 3 things that the government did. And he said he could give them Mr. Pierre 6. Up to now, Sheldon, not one he could see. Not one he could see. But you see, the other podcast, the other people who doing the program allow him to carry on with it. So he tell himself that when you call him or when he gets through to you, he'll come and do the same thing. And you know what? He does not listen, eh? He does not listen. He should know by now that there are people listening to him. And he should not get himself mixed up with what you call nonsense. Because it's pure nonsense he's speaking. It's time he stop that. And the other persons who are always calling and the government is doing good. The government is doing. Don't say the government is good. Tell me what good the government has done. Because you will hear they say, oh, the government pay the pension. Yes, they pay the pension. Did they generate the money to pay the pension? You ask them that question and they can't answer. Oh, the government paid the pension and then they pay the doc's salary. Yes, we're not saying no, they did it. But how did they come by the money to pay the pension and the doc's salary? Well, the money was there. Who caused the money to be there? You see, when you put that to them, they feel, well, okay, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about. But these are the mere facts. Don't come and tell me that the government did this and the government did that, the government doing good. Tell me what good the government do. You hear they talking about unemployment. Oh, unemployment, no. Rate has dropped. In what manner? In what sense? In what manner? In what manner? Sheldon, I happened to pass through that. I always hear Dr. Mitchell saying, the lands in Guelph, when you pass through the lands in the night, it's like a graveyard. And I saw it for myself Sunday night. About after 7. I saw it for myself Sunday night after 7. So when these people are coming to talk the nonsense, they should think again. Because there are people listening to them. There are people out there who see and knows exactly what is going on. And if you're being paid to do this nonsense, it's time to stop it. Huh? You call in on a program and morning and Shaggy program every morning, eh? Shaggy let you have it a morning. We know what you do. I know what you did. Don't come and talk this kind of nonsense. You feel people don't know what you do? We know what you did in WFM. We know what you did. Don't come and try to play Mr. Goody, and Mr. Goody Day. Stop it. It's time to stop it. Because you're getting a little pretense now. You get now it's kind of stupid. Stop that, man. It's time to stop that. So now I'm real upset tonight, but I'll pull it. Go ahead. You laughing? I vex, man. I have no children. I have no problem. Somebody call a program and they state the facts as it is. You state it as it is. I have no problem with that because you have the facts. But you just come and blindly and wildly say things, and when you're being questioned, you're ducking and you're running and you're evading the question. No, that is not right. People are listening to the program and they want to learn, they want to know what's going on. If you come to say something on the program, you should be able to educate somebody. At the end of the day, somebody would learn something from you. But each and every program you come and spread this kind of nonsense and this kind of stupidness. And in my conclusion, Sheldon, I believe the people in Monge have a work to do. Go out and look for that patient. Sheldon, good night.
Oh gosh, no. People asking for she number. No. She knew. She don't know that we just do that. She don't know that anybody attack me in that way. We just give the number to the listeners so that they could call out. We go excuse that one. She young. She ain't know. So when she say that is the best she ever see, she probably has not been around long enough to see. So we can't blame the child. We go spare that one, please. We go spare that one. They don't know better. They don't know about the 3 million that Andy Williams owing. The government of Grenada. They ain't asking he to pay that. No. They ain't taking he to court, nothing in relation to that. Just sweeping that under the rug, No, don't worry about that. All right? No, we're not going to. No. I see a few only well send the number. No, I can't. I can't do that. Not tonight. No. We have a call on the line. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, my brother.
Bro, what's up?
All right.
Go ahead, man. You're live.
I've been wondering for a long time. And I'll say congratulations to you, as the pastor said, to expose KJ. I wonder if he sit and listen to the program after he hang up the phone. And the next question,
he was listening before we called too.
I hope he stay and listen and get, well, a matter of fact, if people know he listen, I'll put on the last caller added at the end there, the folks in Mongo got a job to do. Because I've been wondering how those guys and them, how we could sit down and talk to those guys and them to get them to listen and learn something. To me, they need a medical assistance because like anytime their mouth open, the ears shut. So the ears shut and the mouth just keep going and they won't stop and listen to hear nothing. They make a point and they don't want to hear nothing else, they just run away. So I'd like to know how we going to get to win them over to get them to vote and put them inside, not the pink house, but put them inside the greenhouse. How we going to get to bring them inside? So have a good night, bro.
All right. Thank you, my brother. 1473-440-7377. It's not me do no poll and say what I say, It's not me say that NDC heading out of office. It's not me say that. I just tell all straight. It's one term they're getting and the day is limited. Today, when the sun set, was one less day of the NDC in office. Not one more they have added, 1 day less is going there on their way out. I ain't guessing that. I'm telling all you for sure they on their way out. Not me do that. All I'm telling you all NNPites, do not be complacent. Yeah? Make sure that each of you, before the end of this month, speak to and convince 10 people. 10. Each of you have a responsibility to do that. To get 10 people and make sure that they are going to vote for the new national party. It could be family members. It could be people who working the same place that you work in. It could be whoever. You have the responsibility to get 10 people by the end of this month. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
1 day less is good.
Hello. Hi, call. Just load the volume in the background first, please, and you can proceed.
I'm telling you for sure.
Just proceed. Hello.
Yeah, I'm putting it down. You need to shut your.
Yeah, right. Now, in your case, I will give your number out because you seem to have an issue. Yeah, so we go give. Let me see. What's your number now, folks? All you have all your pen ready? Are you ready for that number? Yeah, that one have an issue, boy. Nice. It's now we do the poll. What you vex for? Don't vex with us. Hey. It's now we do that. So anyway, you have a pen close by. It's 1240-462-8835. All right, yeah. All you call him and tell him how we does act on this program. You can't call my program and try to disrespect me or disrespect my people that on this program. No, you can't do that. So 1240-462-8835. And any all you call private, I ain't going to answer anyway because you can't call you WhatsApp private anyhow. And any all you try otherwise, that is what will happen to all you. So enjoy the rest of your night, yes, sir, because you ain't gonna be having a good one. 1-240-462-8835. Yeah? Right. All you had our night? Nice. Yeah. All you fix him up nicely. Right? So folks, yes, the phone number to call, not that one. You want to call inside here now. 1473-440-7377. But you cannot call us direct. You must call us via WhatsApp. Yeah, you can't call us direct. You have to call us on the WhatsApp. So give us a call. Nice, beautiful. And we nearly out of time to us. So if all you have to call now. Because see, these people keep trying to spread false narratives. They continue. They've been spreading false narratives for a long period of time, and nobody was responding to them or answering them. And they were allowing those false narratives to circulate and to permeate and to get down to the level of each and every person in the country until various people started to believe these things. So there are people out there that actually believe Grenada lose millions of dollars in the shrimp farm, which is not true. Because if every time you're calling programs you're talking about shrimp farm, you should be able to give the information and say this is what happened, that is what happened, this is what took place in relation to the whole thing. You should be able to give proper information in relation to the shrimp farm. But instead of that, let's take this call. Hello. We have a caller online. Proceed, caller.
Hello, good night. How are you doing, Chief?
Hey, Tito.
Good night.
What go, Papa?
Yes. Well, I'm going to tell you, man, we just doing what we have to do, doing the work, selling out things on social media. It's about NMP, send out shots, send out to Minister Peter, do you understand? So, well, I know in my constituency, we all time winning and we all time ready. We all time winning in that constituency. Well, I show we all time winning and we all time ready. There are certain things that just sit down tonight in the shop there and I just want to kind of, give me a little kind of, kickback, to see that my minister, Miss Kate Lewis, this lady, she make Simon, Paul's, Pata Parkley, up her home, you understand, Tivoli, poetry. There's a lot of things for the short time this minister come into office. Look at this pavilion in Simon. Although right now, the who in power right now, they sticking, they really sticking. But when we look at, the people who start the things, you understand, look at Progress Park. Paradise football team right now could be playing and go inside and change clothes so a boy or girl outside or to see you. You understand? Before them is sort of changing clothes like in washroom. You understand? There is a lot of things when you look at pipe and current in Baghdad. I don't watch me. My past set of ministers, I all time been an NNP and I always be an NNP. But my past ministers like people who are run from my constituency. You understand? I never see that in the past time that I know I live, I never see that they do things that this young lady what now leave and resign, she night work and come for we. You understand? And watch what she do in that chat time. When you look at Simon, when you look at like you have a road to go down and the greens. You driving go when you look at Baghdad, the bathroom and toilet, this bathroom and toilet what they come with it, that was in we were what spread the capit for that. You understand? Look, all know we used to when we put on bathroom and toilet, we could use that in certain couple amount of days. Look now, my children and them in Baghdad, and that is nothing that I ain't telling attacking like why people say. Watch how long they put up that bathroom and toilet and them house in Simon, and all know them people and them cannot get the rest of facilities to be using those stuff. I know they make people almost condemn pit outside who start to cover pit and I know they cannot use it because there's a lot of things to be done so then they could be using the so besides that when we going in poles, you understand, the light up with the poles basketball court. When we look at nice road in the back inside the poles, the water project up in a home where people used to Miss Kate Lewis, Mr. Sheldon, I just want to say thanks and I just want to say tomorrow, please God go be the karaoke, and I just want to say thanks to each and every one who always is just about Tito on a Wednesday. So I just want to say thanks to each and every one, and Miss Kate and everybody, we ready. Mr. Sheldon, thanks for having me. All the best and thanks.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother. Yes, indeed, folks. And as he mentioned, tomorrow, I want to remind those of you, particularly in the St. Andrew Southwest constituency, of tomorrow's meeting. That is the new National Party public meeting taking place in St. Andrew Southwest tomorrow. And that's going to be in Ford, St. Andrew, starting at 6:30 p.m. I want all you stay home and say all you go see it online. I want all you say that. I want all you to go out to the meeting. Yes? So those of you in St. Andrew Southwest, and if some of you in St. Andrew Southeast and St. Andrew Northwest and St. Andrew Northeast want to head over to the meeting too, all you go along. Right? So it is taking place tomorrow in Fort St. Andrew. That is going to be from 6:30 p.m. That the new National Party public meeting is going to be taking place out there. Various speakers and the lady herself, the Honorable Emlyn Pear, will be there to speak with you and to interact with you as well. All right, folks. So that is going to be taking place tomorrow out there in St. Andrew. And boy, I'm nearly out of time. Some people say, but you keep the man too long. No, you had some time. You never go and fish yet. All you never see, you have to let the line slack sometime and run before you. Yeah, you understand? Sometime you. But let's make certain things clear, folks, before I close tonight's program. One, Project 500 has not built a house for anybody up to this point in time. They have done some houses in Dunfermline. I'm not too sure if there's another area that they've done a project house. So what they've done is build a house to say these are the houses that will be available under Project 500. Remember, they promised 500 houses a year. That is why it's called Project 500. That is why it's called Project 500, because they promised 500 houses a year. We have them on videotape. We have them on audio tape. We have them in posts. We have all of it. So they can't say that is not what they promised to the Grenadian people. We are heading into the final, well, they have less than 24 months. And from all indications, they may even have less than a year in office. And with that said, they have not completed any of these Project 500. Don't buy that nonsense. When they're giving notes to these people to tell them call, give them proper notes so that they can say things factually. Say we're working on Project 500. Don't come and try to give the impression that it is out and it is there, because it is not true. And we will not allow untruths to pass on this program. Yeah, we deal with facts, we deal with truth. We will not allow untruths to pass on this program. So we are going to clarify things like that when we hear it said. Yeah? And that is why we took the time. And I'm going to make sure that I send the programs to KJ so he could understand what took place with the fowl farm, that he could understand what took place with the shrimp farm, so that he will have a level of clarity to stop making the wrong, false statements that he's making regarding those projects. And anyone who lives in St. David knows that what they saw in St. David, it was the Honorable Oliver Joseph who brought 2 hotel projects to St. David. There was a bathroom and toilet program under the new National Party. Simply changing the name and calling it by another name doesn't change the fact that it's just a bathroom and toilet program. Same as the new National Party had before in the St. David area. So it doesn't change. It just changed the name, but it doesn't change the fact of what it is and what it does for people. And talking about roads and so on, there is nobody could compare to the new National Party, no other political party when it comes to roads. And what has been done for roads in St. David and across Grenada. In fact, I would say that if you take a tennis ball, don't use a cricket ball, it might kill somebody. Take a tennis ball and throw it with enough force in any direction, and you must hit 3 positive projects of the new National Party. It must hit at least 3 of them before it comes to a stop. A road, a drain, a bridge, electricity, water, whatever it is, it will hit at least 3, most likely more than that. 3 positive things that the new National Party has done. And folks, you realize that they're getting agitated and antsy. So don't worry about them and that. What I would say to you is this: make sure that before the end of this month, before the end of October, the 10th month of 2025, that you, each of you, have contacted 10 people. You could be in the diaspora, it doesn't stop you. You could phone people in Grenada, you could check other people out in the diaspora as well. But you have a responsibility to contact 10 people and get those people to confirm that they will be voting for the new National Party on election day. And you have the responsibility to keep in contact with those 10 people. And you have the responsibility to make sure that whatever it takes, you get those people to the polling station on election day and vote for the new National Party. And if they're not registered, make sure that you do what is necessary to get them registered. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being with you. We'll be back on Thursday with more Talking Points, because we can't do tomorrow night because of the meeting. Remember, the meeting will be streamed via Talking Points and the New National Party YouTube pages, as well as it will be on the New National Party Facebook pages and Talking Points Facebook page. So folks, in whatever you do, whatever you say, do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I am out of here. Love you all.
In my father's house, there are many mansions. If it wasn't so, I would have told you. Oh, yeah. Walking in the footsteps of the Lord. I wake up in the morning, and before I eat my bread, brother man, I get on my knees and I give the praise. The day was not so moving, but before I go to bed, brother man, I get on my knees and I give the praise. 'Cause things could have been so different if you didn't love me. Love me. I say things could have been so very different if you didn't love me. Job in my house, no man can break it down. Job in my house, no man can break it down. I say, job in my house, nobody can break it down. Job in my house, no man can break it down. Wicked people, make no sense, you try. Jah watch over right. Job in my house, no man can break it down. No way. Job in my house, nobody can break it down. I say, Jah build it. Jah build my house. On solid rock I stand. Oh, my father, oh Lord, they can break it down. The weather keep on best to live up